Beautiful day, isn't it? I'm starting this video a little bit differently from the other videos that I've taken because I want to make a point. You see the sunshine I have out of my window. You'll probably hear some background noise, maybe a little bit. See, I have a coffee here. It smells amazing. And aside from the coffee, I actually have a very nice breeze coming in. And I wish you could feel these things and smell them just as I am. Because there's a beauty to something as simple even as the day. And oftentimes, in a lot of the struggles that we deal with day to day, it starts to feel like everything's getting more and more complicated. Why is this? How is that? How could this happen? And you're getting attacked from almost what feels like almost everything: society, politics, family, relationships, work, everything. And it starts to get more and more complicated as time goes on. And I feel like we start to forget some of the simplest things. Maybe I want the evening. Maybe I want the silence and the crickets, and I just want to go for a walk. But I can't. That doesn't mean that the sunshine is not something to be enjoyed, right? Perhaps the best thing that you can do is enjoy the sunshine while it's here. I understand I'm speaking in a little bit in analogies here. But what I'm trying to get at is the mental shift that is required to look at your position, whether it's something as simple as the sunshine or if it's night, can often make or break you. And people oftentimes say mind over matter. Well, if you're not friends with your mind, then you're fighting against it. And if you have something that you're working towards, an objective and a goal, that means you have a purpose. And with the purpose, you can wire your mind and your perspective. Self-delude, because we're all deluded in some degrees, and we're all weird to each other to some degree. There's no one you're going to meet, and you're not going to think even like 1 or 2% that guy's weird. Right? Or girl. You get my point. And oftentimes you forget that you're making yourself more anxious than you have to be. So, let's go through some tips. Imagine yourself as two people. Two identical versions of you. One of them is choosing to live a life of complexity. Every problem has a convoluted solution. You sit there, you think, you analyze, you try to come up with the best logical solution. The other one is a life of simplicity. The simplest answer you're going to go with every single time. Now, neither the first, neither the second one is probably living a life that you think is the best possible one. The first path is tempting, especially if you're a guy. And why is that? Because think about it. If you go down that path, you would start building yourself into a very wise and intellectually strong person with a deep understanding of the world. And I think every single guy has that deep within them. They want to understand everything about how the whole world works. I say guy because this is how I feel. Almost 24/7, my brain is kind of working in why is this, how is that. I don't know what it's like to be a girl. I could only guess that it's the same thing, but as a man, this is how I think at all times, and I'm trying to figure out why the world works in the most objective way possible. But this path is a mirage. And that's because it gives you a false promise of satisfaction. Because you're trying to approach a very simple resolution, trying to feel like you're getting wiser and smarter and more intelligent with a very complicated solution. It's kind of like doing this instead of doing this. Now, the second path is challenging as well because it requires you to let go of the unnecessary. Let go of things that might be bothering you and making you want to improve yourself, go above and beyond. And you would have to embrace the power of simplicity, which there is a power to it, but it is also a significant detractor because you have to learn to ignore a lot of the more important things that you subconsciously feel, which is a strength that I think you shouldn't actually develop because subconsciously you want to develop yourself into a better, more capable, stronger, and smarter human. And if you're not developing, I think it was Confucius who said this, if you haven't changed over the last 10 years, then you've lived 10 years for no reason. Right? We all change. Think about yourself even 2 years ago. You'd probably say, I'm stupid 2 years ago. And 2 years from now, you're going to call yourself stupid. So perhaps the second version of yourself, which is very simple, can more easily connect to the peace that comes from understanding yourself on a simple level. And the first one can connect better to your subconscious feeling of wanting to better yourself. And as a rule, you want to look at both of these examples of yourself that you're imagining. And you want to put yourself in a position somewhere in the middle. Know when you should be this person, which has a more complicated and philosophical approach, and a more simple person. Sometimes things aren't as serious. Just enjoy the simplicity. The coffee with French vanilla creamer. That's the best. Just broke my table. Remember that the objective is to be somewhere in the middle between simple and philosophical, or rather simple and complicated. You need to be somewhere in the middle. You can't be too much of one or the other because we just talked about it. This one and this one both would lead to a false sense of happiness. So look out the window, no matter whatever time it is right now, and enjoy whatever's around you. The feeling of the wind on your skin, the feeling of whatever you're feeling right now. Perhaps it's dark, perhaps it's cold. Maybe if it's cold, you imagine sun. Because nothing really truly lasts forever. But it doesn't mean you can't enjoy what you have now, and it doesn't mean you can't enjoy what you have later. You can certainly enjoy everything that comes in your life. So if you're going through something difficult, try a very simple trick. Just force a smile for 10 seconds and see if it changes your mood. Like this. Just force a smile for 10 seconds. Look, I did it for half a second and I started laughing. Force a smile for 10 seconds and just look out wherever you are right now and enjoy whatever it is. Whether it's as simple as I wanted the night, but I can enjoy the sun. Oops. Or something as complicated and hard to deal with as loss or betrayal. There's absolutely things to be enjoyed within both. So do that smile trick and see if it changes your mood, because I promise you it will. And if you want another tip after doing this little smile tip, I have another pretty good one for you. Watch a funny clip before a social interaction. You'll see it actually helps, because it puts you in a better mood, in a more talking mood. And it helps you break the ice much quicker, because that's what small talk really is. Small talk is just the ice, is what they call metaphorically. And then once you break the ice, you actually get into a nice conversation. And compliment anyone you see. With a genuine thought, of course. Don't come up with something. I find, actually, when I do this sort of thing and I see someone smile, I get that sort of energy back, because I absolutely believe energy is contagious. Sad people around you are going to make you more sad, and happy people are going to make you more happy. So if you make someone else happy, that happiness is going to come back towards you. And all it takes is for you to just say the compliment to existence. You say it into existence, you're going to see it physically appear in front of you, and it's going to come back to you. Maybe there's a topic there to go over when it comes to manifestation. So use this video as a reminder of simplicity. Think about what it is that you wanted to do. Whether it's you wanted to do push-ups today or go for a run. You'd really hate running, but oftentimes it's the things that we don't want to do in the moment, like physically, that we actually need. Like perhaps going for a run or stretching or doing 100 push-ups. That's actually a trick my tennis coach used to say. He used to say, what is the last thing you want to do right now? And I'd be like, oh, suicides. And suicides, for those of you who don't know, it's a drill in tennis. You run to every single corner, collect the ball, put it back on the racket. And then you go from the racket and you put it on the corner of every single of the court. And it was horrible. It was horrible because you got to run, bend over, and you just had to do you do one of those repetitions, that's one. And he wants you to do 10, then you have a 30-second break and you do 10 again. I hated it. It was my least favorite thing. So for 30 minutes, he would make me do those suicides. But I think I might be rambling on at this point. Think about what it is that you want to do in this moment and treat yourself with going towards the objective that you want to be at. Combine the simple and the complicated to figure out what it is your objective is, and go headfirst into exactly what it is that you need to do. If you'll allow me, I'd like to leave you with this. Think of life as a balance between light and dark, yin and yang. When there's joy, sorrow is often close behind. But the reverse is also true. By understanding this, we could develop a sense of predictability and prepare ourselves for the ups and downs of life.